live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Monday, December 11th. We have a lot to get to tonight. We're going to head to Ogden, go in depth on some neighborhood concerns for loud vehicles, from street racing. Amanda Gilbert joining us in just a few minutes. Also, are we in a recession right now? Christina Flores joins me to talk about the current state of our economy. But before we get there, here's a look at what's making headlines right now on our website, KUTV.com. You can find all of these there. First and foremost, a Salt Lake man accused of screaming, yelling, and threatening to kill his neighbors in court today. Maurice Raful's new defense attorney tried to get his client out of jail, but the judge didn't budge. And the prosecutor made it very clear Raful is a danger to society. Also in your headlines tonight, a damaging break-in at a local nail salon goes just beyond burglary. Police are now investigating it as a hate crime after hateful speech was sprayed inside of that building and that business. Sandy police searching for a suspect after security camera footage shows a woman stealing someone's car. Police say a white Kia Sportage was left running near 1450 East Marbella Street. You see it being stolen here. It's a reminder to never leave your vehicle running unattended, even for a brief period of time. Zion National Park has announced lottery dates for hikers hoping to visit Angel's Landing next year. It's a great hike. The first lottery opens on New Year's Day for hikes from March 1st to May 31st. So all lotteries open at 8 in the morning. They close on the 20th of the same month that they are opened. If you need a little bit more info, you can find that article on our website right now. As we go in depth, you can always get in touch with us during the show. You can use the hashtag 2NewsLive to join in on the conversation. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, you can find us on the socials, right? On Facebook, X, Instagram. Send a DM anywhere to weigh in or to just say hello and happy Monday. In a KUTV follow-up, neighbors in an Ogden neighborhood say street racing and loud cars continue to be an issue. Now, video sent to us last night of a car doing donuts outside of a home. It was sent to us from North Monroe Boulevard. We've seen videos like this before where the road dead ends. Cars doing donuts in that neighborhood. KUTV's Amanda Gilbert live in that area, not doing donuts, but does have that video. Amanda, it's the first time, or rather is not the first time, that we've spoken to people in this area because we're following up on their concerns once again.
That's right. I interviewed Elaine Bettis today, and I'm actually in the area where that video was. It's hard to see now as the sun goes down, but you can see tire marks in the road here on North Monroe where that car was doing donuts just last night. And this neighbor says, this is an ongoing issue. His Ring camera has captured video of loud cars, of cars street racing, cars doing donuts. We actually interviewed him about a year ago about this, and he says it's just an ongoing issue. I did speak with police. They said they've tried to up patrol in this area, especially weekend nights. They've also periodically placed cameras out here. I also reached out to the city. You might be able to see this coming back to me here. They said they did try to narrow the road by putting up these bike lanes, but they said, this is a continued discussion. So yeah, talked to Lane earlier today. He says, he does understand that police are really trying to come up with a solution. But he has been emailing the mayor. He says he's having a hard time getting a hold of the mayor, and he's just frustrated and he's worried about someone getting hurt. Back to you, Brian.
Amanda, Lane hearing from some of his neighbors as well. Are there other concerns in that neighborhood?
Yes, and I spoke to some of those neighbors today as well. It seems like some people are just frustrated. I know one neighbor says he's been threatened when he's kind of reacted to some of the people driving recklessly on this road. So yes, other neighbors agree with Lane in this area.
Amanda Gilbert live for us tonight in Ogden. Amanda, thank you very much. We'll look forward to your coverage. We've covered this extensively, the street racing, the impacts on the state of Utah, and of course this neighborhood here. If you'd like to catch up with our prior reporting, you can find that on our website, KUTV.com. Always a reminder, if something's going on in your area that you just can't seem to get some answers on, let us know. We'll see if we can do a little digging for you. All right, let's get to it here with your forecast. Nice to have the celebrity appearance from meteorologist Trent Parker tonight. Always looking forward to 2 News Live with Trent after he got to hit the snow this weekend.
Yeah, it's always something special. I was up there both days this week, and this was from Saturday morning, so the day after the storm, once it all cleared out, we had those beautiful blue skies. And then this was the sunrise looking up at, do you recognize this spot? Up 210.
No.
All right, this is Hellgate.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
A little slippery slope
there's
here.
A couple slides
yeah,
here.
There we go.
You can see a couple those loose slides.
Is this your photo, by the way?
I did take this photo.
Excellent
From
photography,
the base
Trent.
of
Beautiful.
Snowbird. This is that rock outcropping, that granite outcropping that kind of
Gotcha.
divides Snowbird and Alta as you're driving up 210. The bypass road kind of diverges at that point. They actually had the section of road closed off for last week or so since we had those storms, and they kind of diverted all that traffic in and around that area so that way they could deploy some of you can see some of them right here, some of these Wiesen towers that they've got up there to help mitigate some of those avalanche concerns.
Yeah, the remote avalanche control technology is really fascinating up there. Obviously a number of slide paths here, so there is a elevated level of concern for those driving, and of course if it runs across the roadway.
100%, yeah, and in these spots now they don't have to shoot artillery necessary. They can just click a button and all of a sudden, poof, you get an explosion.
I'm just mad at myself that I couldn't point out the Hellgate. It's a great angle though.
I love it. It's one of my favorite features.
And it shows just the gnarly terrain that is Little Cottonwood Canyon.
And all this just kind of waterfalls down at the bottom over this giant cliff and down near the road. So let's go ahead and see what we're looking at as far as the weather is concerned this week. Here's another picture. Just going to keep on selflessly plugging my pictures here on 2 News Live here at 5:30. This is actually from yesterday afternoon. I was up there for sunset. I took actually the last chair up Peruvian for the weekend and got to capture this beautiful picture looking down the canyon. A couple of clouds last night, but then they cleared out again this morning as we had a little bit of that clearing overnight. Another cold morning as well. And then here's a live look up at Logan. We had a couple of flurries in that area early today, but things have quieted down. Just a couple of clippers moving across the far northern parts of the state. And temperatures have been cold up in the mountains. 25 was our high temperature today at Hidden Peak. 21 was the low. And that's actually a little bit warmer than what it was over the weekend because we were dealing with those single-digit temperatures, especially in the morning. It was just absolutely brisk. 34 was the high at S-turns and 30 the overnight low. So be careful if you're heading up, especially in the mornings. There still could be a couple spots where there may be some black ice where some of that roadside snow has melted and then refrozen to the road surfaces. All right, so season snowfall so far at those resorts that are reporting. We actually have 3 of the top 6 spots here in Utah. Alta at 146, Snowbird 138, Solitude 114. The only people beating us are Alaska. They've just been continuously hammered with snowfall over the last 2 months or so. They're up to 219 there at the top of Alyeska Resort. And so compared to last year, we're actually doing pretty well so far. 154 was our season total at Alta this date last year, and right now we're sitting at 146, and that's definitely above normal. Usually at this time of year, we're sitting right around that 110, 120 inch mark. So we're actually doing pretty good, especially up here in northern Utah. The current snow water equivalent is above median, and then we're kind of still struggling, especially as we head towards central and then especially southern Utah. Those snow water equivalents only about 40 to 60% of median. And so I've heard a couple people asking about this. What are our chances for a white Christmas? Well, if you count snow on the ground over an inch or more, we actually have a pretty good chance, about 1 in 2 shot here in Salt Lake City. Definitely better than some of our surrounding areas. Billings, the only one beating us out there at 49%. And if we talk about snow falling on Christmas Day, and we're talking about measurable snowfall, this is over 1/10 of an inch, and we could see, or historically, about a quarter percent or a quarter of the times on Christmas, we actually see snow falling and accumulating more than 1/10 of an inch. So again, that's actually much better than the surrounding areas. Boise's only at 18%, and of course 0%, especially as you head to our south and west where they don't see a whole lot of snow, usually on Christmas. And we are tracking some quiet weather over the next couple of days. We've got this storm system off to our north and west that dives in through the day tomorrow, especially in the evening hours. But it's cut off from the jet stream. You can see the jet stream all the way up here, so it really stunts our chance at getting any real kind of moisture in here. And really all it's going to do for us is create some gusty winds as well as increase that cloud cover for a day or two. And then the ridge of high pressure builds in, and that means hazy weather continuing from Friday through Saturday and especially into Sunday. That's when we can see the worst kind of pollution here across the Salt Lake Valley. And then potentially as we head towards the early part of next week, we get a little bit more of that westerly flow setting up, potentially increasing our chances for some stormy weather. And actually, if we're going to track the moisture, we're going to look at our precipitable water. And we've got this ridge of high pressure off to the south and east, and it's almost kind of like a monsoon setup where we've got this moisture coming in from the Gulf, this return flow. So places in southern Colorado, northern New Mexico, they're really going to do well on Wednesday as far as snow goes. And if you look over here across the state of Utah, all of our moisture is riding well to the north with that jet stream. So we're going to kind of miss out on any kind of precipitation chances for the next 5 or 6, even maybe 7 days. 0% as we head through this weekend. And if you're not doing anything tonight, there is a free event going on down at the Delta Center, the national parks. Sterling will be guest conducting. It's going to be a great event, free for everyone. Starts at 7 o'clock, and the temperatures are going to be rather chilly, but there's really no weather concerns through the rest of the night, just some partly cloudy skies. So make sure you take a jacket and your hats and mittens, stuff like that. It's going to be pretty cold out there. In St. George, we're in the 50s for the next several days, 60 potentially by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and not a whole lot of weather events going on for you, just those above normal temperatures and some partly cloudy skies for the next 7 days. Here in Salt Lake City, we're dealing with cloudy skies tomorrow as that storm system drops in, and then canyon winds Wednesday morning, especially north of Parley's Canyon. So we're talking about Weber, Davis, and potentially up towards Cache counties as well. Temperatures generally in the 40s, and then the haze returns by the time we get to later next week and into next weekend. And then can't finish this off without pulling up the Alta Snowbird forecast. The 7-day forecast looking like it's going to stay pretty chilly up there. So if they want to continue to make snow, especially at those lower elevations, and open some more areas on the mountain. I know just resorts have been dropping ropes left and right, especially up at Alta. They're up to 80-something trails now. 5 lifts open.
Well, they got the goods.
They did, yeah.
If anybody's got the goods, it's, you know, your resorts in Little Cottonwood Canyon got the higher snow totals, right? And then Brighton's not too far behind.
Nope. And then it's crazy how we went from, you know, talking about how the ski resorts may be struggling to get going, especially for the holidays. And now they're, you know, right on schedule as far as what they can open.
It's because I kept chanting 903, 903 right here on 2 News Live.
That might have done
I'm just going to keep doing it because I think it makes a lot of sense.
You know the whale helped out.
The whale, well, depending on how you believe, yes, the whale may have helped out. Thank you, Trent. Remember to download our 2 News weather app to know about your changes in your neighborhood. You can get updated forecasts, a live radar right at the palm of your hand on your phone. The app is free to download. Before we go tonight, let's take a look at what's trending on our website, KUTV.com. You can find it always off to this side here of the screen. I want to bring you into the first article here because it's interesting. I think a lot of people can relate to maybe some of the delivery services here, especially since the pandemic really forced a lot of businesses to think differently. So DoorDash and Uber Eats, they're now going to change tipping policies in select parts of the United States. You know, it's interesting. I haven't scrolled down this article, but apparently so many of you have, because it's the #1 trending article on our website right now. It does not mention Utah. Be very interesting to see if this has an impact here, if the tip will change after the order is fulfilled. Also trending on our website right now, that story we brought you in our headlines here right off the top there from the nail salon burglary and of course the hate crime investigation that ensues. And one of my favorites, by the way, I'm going to get in here because this is one of my favorites of the end of the year, is what did you look at in 2023 on Google? What were you looking at? Okay, were you being appropriate? I hope you were. Okay, check out this year's top internet searches. And it sounds like a lot of people were looking for Damar Hamlin as a top trending person. Israel Hamas topped news trends. Always an interesting read, so I'd invite you to check it out on our website, KUTV.com. Remember, all of these stories are there. You can always find them there, KUTV.com. Thanks for joining us for 2 News Live tonight. Great to be with you. As always, you can find all of our coverage on our website there, also on our YouTube channel. And as always, you can download the 2 News mobile app on the Apple App Store or on Google Play. Thanks for being with us tonight. We will be here tomorrow night, again through Friday, Monday through Friday at 5:30. Hope to have you join us again for more of those in-depth conversations. And have a great rest of your Monday.